Hey dividend investors, today I'm going to be talking to you about 3 different stocks that are great picks, especially if Biden gets into office. Of course, he looks like he is winning right now, but who knows? I am not going to be taking sides until the Electoral College does their thing. So let's get down and let's check out 3 companies that I think are great picks. So first we have to really look at what the Democrats are, who was investing into the Democrats, who were donating to them essentially, and who will be the successors. Now, when it comes down to it, Boeing is a very good pick. So for number 1, once Biden gets in, they're of course going to be controlling what looks to be the House and possibly the Senate. Who knows? We don't know about the Senate just yet. But as of right now, Boeing is a very good company to look into because a lot of these airplane companies, a lot of these Southwest and all of them, they are ordering those brand new jets that Boeing had a ton of issues with, and it sounds like Boeing may have fixed those issues. Now, of the airplanes that were crashing for no reason, it seems like they fixed that problem. Next is Biden. Of course, the Democrats want to give a lot of funding to a lot of different companies, and Boeing is one of them. Also, the airplane companies, the shippers, and all of them, they are all getting funding from the Democrats as soon as Trump leaves office, because it seems like Pelosi doesn't want to do anything for Trump, which they're on 2 different teams, so it's understandable. So let's get down and let's check out Boeing. Boeing was up huge on Friday. It was up 6%, which is massive. It was also up 0.25% after hours. Of course, I'm recording this video on the weekend. It's going to be released on Wednesday, but it was up huge when it came to Friday's after hours, mainly because Trump came out and said, hey, we got a vaccine, which is great for everybody, especially when it comes to an airplane market, and the airplane market is pretty much zero. But what are other reasons why I would invest in Boeing? We are a dividend channel here, and as of right now, with where their stock price is at, they are paying a 4.39% dividend. Is that dividend safe? As of right now, I would say no, so keep that in mind. They are currently not doing all that well when it comes to money. They've had issues with their airplanes. Now, the world is having an issue with coronavirus, which means nobody's buying airplanes. And then, on top of it all, they had an issue with the Dreamliner, which is, or Starliner, whatever they call it, the thing that goes up in space. Their spaceship, they've had massive issues. Now, the benefit to them right now is they've fixed the issues, and within a year, they're going to be flying astronauts back into space, which is fantastic. That's a great play when it comes down to a good 3 to 5 year play. They seem to be really taking control of the space market, minus SpaceX. SpaceX will always be a leader in my eyes in the space market. Boeing will be number 2, so keep that in mind. But what's another good thing about Boeing? Boeing is a good play when it comes to militaries and comes to war. And Biden really seems like he is in favor of sending out more troops to other places around the world. And when that happens, they need to buy more planes, more warplanes, and a lot of other things. And that's what Boeing really does sell. And now, going with that whole idea of war, another great option to invest in if you think that there's going to be a lot of missiles being launched in the future, which there possibly could be with Biden. With Biden also, basically it sounds like, again, like I was mentioning, he wants to really just have his military go out throughout the entire world. Meanwhile, Trump wants to pull back the military and bring them all back home. I'm not taking sides, so don't get political down in the comments. But with Biden wanting to send out more troops and Trump wanting to bring back troops, if Trump loses his court cases and Biden wins, then with Biden, those troops will be going back out, and Lockheed Martin is part of that military complex. So that is probably why they've been up a good amount over the last couple of days. Because Biden won, and of course he is gets a lot of funding to the Democrats from the military complex. Now, when we look at their stock price, they are paying a 2.7% dividend, and I would say as of right now, it seems to be pretty safe. And they seem to be making money. It's not like Boeing, who is just not really making much money whatsoever. Now, when it comes down to it, they tend to be trading within that 350 to 400 range for the past couple of months. They did dip down to 300, which would have been a fantastic buying option, and they did top out just under 450. And to be exact, 442.53 was their top. So again, if Biden gets in and there is any sort of rumors about any kind of military action anywhere in the entire world, I can safely assume that they will probably go back up to that 450 range. Again, that is only speculation, and again, all of these stocks are all just speculation on what Biden may do in the future. Now, as you know, there are the social media stocks, and whether you're on the left side, the right side, or down the center, which I like to try and play, you have to really admit that the social media companies have been really changing the election. And what I mean by that is anything that Trump says, whether there is evidence or not, or whatever, they put a big disclaimer under his stuff. And whenever you do that to a certain person, especially when you're in the stratosphere as Trump is, there's going to be consequences. And what I mean by that is Facebook, Twitter, and Google, they all own social media companies, and if Trump gets in, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. However, with Google, they seem to be the safest company out of the three. I personally dislike Twitter stock. Facebook stock has been good to me. However, I haven't really been following it all that much recently. And then there's Google stock, which I do follow mainly because I run so many YouTube channels, and it's kind of a cool thing to really watch because they're just ridiculous when it comes to their stock. It's not just a YouTube play, it's not just a Google play, you're also getting stuff that is just ridiculous. Like you're getting, I think it's like Nest they own a part of SpaceX. This is just all crazy, right? They have a lot of investments. That's why they no longer are called Google. They are called Alphabet. Alphabet's the top. And then they have all the little branches and stuff about what they own. And it's a good play on just future of technology. They have a lot of investments. But with Biden getting in, if you are invested in Google, you are safe. And what I mean by that is he is not going to be going after Google. That is the Republicans. So with him not going after Google and the Republicans wanting to go after companies like Google, then what's going to happen is their stock is going to continue to rise because they're going to continue to have money. And of course, Biden and the Democrats are posting a lot of bills or making a lot of bills that protect the social media companies. So that is why I would say that is my third pick. They are currently at $1,700, and that is just amazing. Like I remember looking at Google stock and it was worth like barely anything, and they over the last like 15 or whatever years, look at that. That is amazing. Like not even getting into the technicals, just to draw out what they have recently done is amazing. Anyways, again, these are all just speculation. Make sure to do your own research. Make sure to talk to your own financial advisors. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.